Good morning. It is. It's dark. Good morning. You're gonna have to do the introductions and everything. Well, you have to do them quick though. You ain't got time to listen to this blabber.
She's telling me what I need to do. Anyway, good morning. I'm Tim, and this is Amber right here. And if you're joining us for the first time, we're two of the five that moved from the hustle and bustle of the city to the Smoky Mountains of East Tennessee, and we live off grid, and we like to connect with sometimes we say like-minded people, but you know, some
Well, we have coffee with y'all.
and have coffee.
That's it. That's it. That's what you joined. Um, in a world of isolation and being by yourselves and separating and keeping distant and all that other junk, we like to just sit around, chit chat, talk about different things that are on our head and different things about our life and see what you guys have to say and have coffee. What better way to connect? Good morning, Sherry, Jacques. How are y'all?
Top of the morning to
We
you.
haven't talked all week and I've been busy, so I'm sorry. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Sorry, y'all. I got to keep doing the whole glasses thing to read. I might just have to do that later. Good morning, Carol. Thank you guys for joining us. We're a little cold this morning. I noticed you
Yeah,
got your hat
I'm
on.
feeling a little gray today.
My husband has a
Yeah,
great
I
sense
get
of
it.
humor. Yeah. Are you that cold or did your hair look funky and you just put on a hat?
Well, let's just show everybody.
I can't see it. You're good. Well, you can put it
It is
on.
it is up there somewhere. I think it's moving back.
Yep, you're great. Good morning. How are you guys? We're both great. Oh my gosh. Lyndon found an old picture of me the other day, and it really wasn't that old. It was like 5 years old. She goes, "Look, mom, you look so much younger." I'm like, "Thanks, appreciate it."
Sure, I felt young back then.
I do too. We aged a lot in 5 years.
I know I
That's
did.
how long we've been here, y'all. That's how long we've been living off grid here in
Yeah,
the mountains.
I think I aged probably
You aged probably 10 in those first 3 months.
15 years since I've been here.
This life will do it to you. Oh my gosh. So today we were sitting here going, what do you want to talk about today? Uh to me, those are wisdom highlights.
Yeah, thank you.
um yeah, and it's dark in here, y'all. I'm sorry. Timmy built this beautiful deck on our house that we've been just nipping at the bit to get. That was his like kumbaya goal for our house here, just to have that porch and sit on it and have coffee. Well, the overhang blocks our natural sunlight, and I complained about it every day for like the first week. Haven't complained about it in a while
She complained about it before I even put the roof on it.
because I knew it was going to do, and I can't stand the darkness.
So
But it makes life funky because we all in the dark. It makes my day funky
yeah,
too.
like fun.
How's that porch coming? Are we enjoying our coffee on it?
Well, not today. Maybe later. We're gonna have some family over.
Y'all just kids. We're old enough to be your parents. Oh goodness. Well, I'm glad that y'all are here, and it's nice to be called a
Yeah.
kid because mentally I feel like it a lot of times. Um, but today we're going to talk about change, and it's change. It's a big topic. I don't know if we can talk about it all with coffee, but what inspired us was this week. It was Little Bit's 12th birthday.
And it ain't a change in your pocket either.
We ain't got no change in our pocket. Going jingling. Sorry, y'all. Anyways, and if people think Timmy's the cheesy one. We're actually a cheesy couple. Um, but when she first moved here, we first moved here, Little Bit was 6 years old. Yes, she was 6 years old. I was trying to do the math. And she had just lost a front tooth. the week that we moved at our home where, she was born and raised up until then. And I was really happy she lost her tooth there at our home where we started everything. And but anyhow, when she moved here, she's like, I want to be like Rapunzel. I never want to cut my hair. And I said, that's fine with me. I love it. And she goes, and when it gets all the way down to the floor, I'm changing my name to Rapunzel. We're like, that's fine. I love it. And we haven't let her cut her hair. And she didn't want to, but she's been asking this last year. And I'm like, no, no, you're not, not down to the floor yet. I did not want to let her cut her hair. So I gave her 1 year. I said, okay, in 1 year, you can cut your hair, which would be the summer of 2024. She's been asking every day for talking about it,
Yeah.
Pinterest pictures, saving photos, discussing it at dinner, when we go out. When I get my hair cut, it'll be so much easier. When I get my hair done, even swimming this year, when I get my hair short, and I cringed every time. Well, for her birthday surprise, I she didn't know. I made an appointment. This is how God works, y'all. I looked online in the chat groups. Chat group I'm not allowed to even comment on. I've been banned from commenting. It was Sevierville Speaks Out, Sherry. That's the group I'm talking about. I'm banned from commenting, and the admins won't even let me know why. Go figure. And anyway, so I searched in there for who everybody else recommends for this haircut. So they recommended this guy. And so I made an appointment with him, and nobody else knew about it, to get Lyndon's hair cut and colored. And I went to cosmetology school back in the 80s, and there is a stereotype that is associated with men in that profession. And most of the time, it rings to be true. So that's kind of what I expected in my head. And we pulled in, we're, first of all, the place was over an hour away, and I'm thinking city. Here's this highfalutin hairstylist that is known for doing Dolly Parton wigs and all this other stuff, and I'm thinking downtown Sevierville or Knoxville. It was in Seymour, and so Lyndon still didn't know where we're going, and the GPS turns us down the street, and there's nothing. Like, there's fields and horses and cows and no businesses, and Linda's just like, where are we going? And I said, I don't know, we might be buying you a horse for your birthday. And then so there's this old strip mall that had like an auto body shop and like maybe attorney's office or CPA in some closed down buildings or businesses. And we pulled in there, and it pulls up to the salon, and she goes, wait, what? But it was closed. It was like the letters were all worn off, and the legit business had been closed down. I said, "No, honey, it's not this place. We're lost." And so I call the guy's number, and he goes, "Are you in a, this color vehicle?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "You're just, I can see you. You're down the street." And there was another strip mall next to a limousine service. I say strip mall, it was just a strip of buildings, like warehouse buildings. And so I pull up, there's no sign on the door. And we go inside, and I tell Lyndon in the car, and she started crying, and she was so excited. And she was just blown away. She's like, this is the best gift ever, because I gave her something that she's been desiring for a long time. But we go in, y'all. This is how good God works. We go inside. Not only is he not the stereotypical male associated with a hair salon, he is a missionary. His wife and him travel all over the world. They went to India, they're going to Cambodia. They homeschool their children. He is goes to a church that he's very active in. He was speaking the word of God to my child the entire 2 hours and witnessing to us. And it blew me away. And it made the change process from her hair down to the middle of her butt to short, short. Think of like short Joan Jett back in the early 80s. And that's what she looks like. And I loved every bit of it. And I didn't want the change, but I'm so happy I did. And it was so amazing. Hey Dad, hey Joyce, how are you? Um, Thanks for joining our
Good
coffee.
morning.
So that was the change, and it took a lot out of me to agree to do that change. But it has, I didn't want to lose our little girl. What did I say to you that morning before we left? I said, this will be the last time that you see her
Well, yeah.
as a child with long hair.
Well, yeah. I mean, you realize how long it takes to grow it, and you'll never see her at that age with,
Long hair
the way,
again.
yeah, you've just got pictures. I mean,
Because it took 6 years to grow this, and another 6 years she'll be
yeah.
18. And you just don't kind of wrap your head around that. I've always said, oh, it's just hair, it'll grow back. Well, it will when she's an adult. And so I was trying to hang on to those. I'm like, why is this change bugging me so much? And I've always said Lyndon was our last hurrah. She's our last chance to get it right.
I mean, it's taken me 6 years to grow this scraggly
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. So I'm like, wow, change is so uncomfortable, you know, a lot of times. It's very uncomfortable. And we were in Pawleys Island in our nice little cozy coastal house that we built and our job and our routine. And we were comfortable. We weren't progressing. We were staying in that repeat cycle. We were getting older. Our kids were getting older, but we weren't taking a step forward in any direction. And it wasn't till
Well, I mean, a lot of times you get so stuck in your routine and doing
Mhm.
that you forget the rest of the world.
You
And
do.
it's it's a bubble.
Yeah, you live in your bubble. And then we made a drastic change because somebody over here felt the Lord was leading us to leave.
Yeah, I mean
And
that's
we did. And that was a big change
yeah, it's one of the biggest changes,
we've ever made.
yeah, we've ever made, and one of the biggest changes I've ever um, made with myself, and my thinking, and the way I live, and just being able to, um, I don't know, take others into consideration. I would say, um, when you look at your kids and they're just sitting in front of a video game or a TV, and when you come home, everybody goes to their own room, and it's it's a little sad once the light turns on and you realize what's happening. Um,
It's time for a change.
Golly.
But we get, and I've been talking to several friends lately that they're in the, what does they say the definition of insanity is? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And growth never happens in the comfort zone. Never. And at least in my experience, in order for you to grow, whether it's in your spiritual walk, your financial goals, your homesteading goals, you have to make a change. If you are desiring this goal and you're down here doing the exact same thing every day, not seeing any forward progress, it's time for you to make a change. Same thing with your health. You can apply this concept to really anything in your life, and it's time to make a change. And in order to do that change, you need to get out of your comfort zone. I talked to two friends in the past 2 weeks about this. I said, okay, there's something about this. And then when I was so uncomfortable with the change Lyndon made, I'm like, okay, here's the third time. I just, boop, it's in front of my face now. You can't keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. You need to get out of your comfort zone in order for your life to change. Go ahead, keep going. I'm just trying to change the darkness, talking about changing.
Yeah, so here we are.
But we were talking about what God says about change this morning. You remember? Now we didn't go on the Bible and start looking up a bunch of different
No.
scripture, but um there we go. You think about this with your walk with Christ, the very first thing that you do is become born again. I don't know what bigger change there is than that, to be born again. And then the next thing he's like, turn from your wicked ways. That's a huge change. That's one that we still deal with every single day.
Yeah,
I do.
I mean,
What?
I don't know. I still, I guess, have that.
Well, you got more than just some of your old habits that you had to change from. You have a mentality things that you need to change from, like you said about being unselfish or doing. There's so much. things that are considered wrong
Yeah.
scripturally that
Well,
we do. Overeat, um, being a glutton, gossiping, just all of the things that hurt us that we need to change from. I mean, you could, like I said, you could apply that same principle to every area of your life. If you want that growth, you're going to need to get out of your comfort zone or your bad habits and make a positive change.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know if this will make any sense to, some of you out
It's
there, but
okay if it makes
it,
sense in
it
your own head.
seems like over a period of time, God has prepared me to make changes. So I don't know, it's easier to let go of certain things and, being able to deal with not having something that you've had for a long time.
Like
And
heat. Like heat.
yeah, well, yeah, amenities, um, that, and, there's, other things that we have in our lives normally that,
We have struggled with some of it.
yeah,
We have struggled with some of it where we're not going to lie. However, and sometimes other people force us to change, and that's very uncomfortable when that happens. Whether it be a spouse says, do this, change, or else. If you lose your job and your entire income and family life change, a child moves out that you didn't want to move out. Uh, someone passes away, and there's so much that's out of your control, and which causes growth as well, and it causes you to adapt. And then, of course, the changes that are implemented on us by Big Brother. I mean, just look at the last 3-4 years, all those changes that they pushed on us about, stay home, do this, do that. You can't have your job, you can't travel, you can't see your loved ones. Those changes are counterproductive, in my opinion. But one of the things, sorry, I'm looking for my pocket. My hands are cold. One of the things too is where we're talking about this morning is, when is it not good to make a change?
hmm,
It's not rhetorical, honey. I actually want you to answer that. When you're stressed, when you're fighting, when you're under extreme emotions, those are horrible times to make changes. When you don't pray about it first,
well, I think what happens is your mind, you start looking for a quick
yeah,
fix,
you panic.
and it you end up making the wrong decisions, or a decision that you'll regret later. So
Because you don't pray about it and take the time to wait for an answer
yeah,
from God first.
yeah, you're
I'm
you're you're
guilty of
so
that.
comfortable in that moment, and that change just brings about a panic to you, and you're like, "Oh, well, I gotta make some phone calls. I gotta talk to somebody."
Stress.
Yeah,
Yep, all that kind of stuff makes you want to make that change where you need. Because I've been, again, I talked to another friend. He was in a very stressful situation and he wanted to make some drastic decisions. And I'm like, just wait. Did you pray about it? I ain't got time to pray about it. Whoa, that's your red flag. That's your red flag right
yeah.
there. Yeah, if
It's
you go ahead.
it's not like driving down the road and having a flat tire and going, well, I've got a spare in the trunk. I can change this tire and we can get home. We're all right. It's a
It's
little
such a
different than that.
Timmyism.
Yeah, it's a little different than that.
But then there's also, so those are kind of some examples. And then if you guys got any, drop them in the comments of when is it a bad time to make a change. And I definitely think if you're in that moment, you don't pray about it first. You're really, really stressed. You're making it under some severe stress, lack of sleep, fighting, being mad. Those are horrible times when you're scared to make a change. Sometimes the best thing that you can do is just be still and wait for God to open up a door. Uh but also too, there's some other times to make really good changes, especially on the homestead, is if something isn't working, or just like I said, you want to move forward and there's no progress. And we've talked about what when it's time to get rid of certain livestock and all that other kind of stuff, and we won't get into that today. But if something's not working on your homestead and it's causing you undue stress,
Hmm.
it's time to make a change. If you're doing the exact same thing every single day and you're like, I'm not seeing any difference, we're nowhere near closer to our goals than we were a year ago. It's time to evaluate what you got going on and make a change, even if it's uncomfortable. I'm
Yeah.
gonna let Bud now. Come on, Bud.
Yeah, I think I've done a lot of that with my life, and just evaluating, and I don't know, I guess God just presses it on my heart, and I realize things that I'm doing that it's just uh, it it's just not working for me anymore, and it's a part of my life that I don't need. And he
Oh, like you giving up sugar. That was a biggie.
well,
I mean, that was just a sample, but I'm like, that was a big change that you made. That's like as big as when you quit drinking to me.
I mean, I guess it's all the same when you look at it. If it's something that you do regularly, or it's in your life all the time, and God just releases you from it. He removes that desire, and once that desire is gone, I mean, you're free. And I don't think there's anything better than freedom from something that's
Kept you prisoner.
has. It's just, I guess it's just one more chain that's dropped from my life. So uh
But
and it's the little things like that that you realize that God is working in your life, and especially when you feel like, man, I wish I could just give this up, and it's like, then it's gone. You're like, golly, I didn't think I could ever do that.
you
God
didn't.
did.
Yeah, yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. It is, y'all, we're getting ready. We were talking about, and if you missed it last week, we talked about prepping for peace instead of prepping for, a war, another pandemic, another whatever they've got in store for us. Y'all, if you didn't get a chance to watch that, look at the other lives. Watch last week's live in prepping for peace because that was a goodie. And I still think about that every single day about the changes that are getting ready to happen within our country over the next year because they're coming. And some of them I'm sure will not be good. And we need to plan for peace and prep for peace. So we'll be prepared to better handle those changes that are coming our way. But the other things is, for instance, I had to go to the doctor this week to check my high blood pressure that went away after I had knee replacement surgery because I wasn't working and I wasn't having to do all this other stuff. And then we've been monitoring her blood pressure because Timmy thought his was low. So I said, well, I'll check mine too. And his was perfect. God, praise God. Mine was crazy. And the doctor's talking to me. She's like, so what's changed? I said, I'm stressed. I'm really, really stressed. And have a very open relationship. If you don't have a PCP that you have an open relationship about with, I suggest you find a new one. And she gets me, I get her, and she's like, how are you going to fix that? I said, I need to change. And she goes, well, when you figure it out, let me know because I've been dealing with it too. And we just started cracking up. And so, that kind of resonated with me. It's like, if I need to make a change in my life to reduce the stress or figure out how I handle it to funnel it differently, and I haven't come up with I haven't had a moment to focus on that to see where that's going to be. I know it said pray about it first, so that's going to be my first step. But then I need to come. I'm a planner. I have a list for everything, and then I need to create a list to implement a change after I pray about it and how to do that for my health. Otherwise, no more Amber because I don't want to go on a plethora of meds. But yeah, so change has been a very strong topic in our life lately. And people look at us too about how we changed from modern living, conventional living to this. And they all say, "Oh, I could never do that. I could never do that." I get that all the time. I could never do that.
Yeah.
Nor do I want to. That's good. God didn't lay it on your heart. But if he lays it on your heart, you don't have to worry about being able to do that. He'll help you.
Yeah, he'll figure it out for you.
You don't have to know how to do all the steps. You just gotta be obedient.
Yeah. Just be obedient. He will he will guide you. You'll feel like you know what you're doing. Yeah.
When you don't.
Yeah. We just we don't boast about it, but we, you know, I guess we give what they call, well, we're not locals here. Or, yeah, we are now.
No, we ain't local yet.
No, we're not local.
The outside, someone being a tourist would call us a local. The
Yeah.
locals won't call us local, and that's okay. I mean, we
Yeah.
don't have to fit in right yet.
We're always open to local knowledge.
Yes,
Yes.
we're willing. I would say I'm more willing to change now than I ever was before. I am still stubborn in many ways. Don't get me wrong. I'll fight you tooth and nail. But I mean, even in the way and especially in the way that I have believed things to be true in my faith since I was a child. This new Bible study that we're in on Sunday, I've really, 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 really appreciated. Sorry, I got static in my hair and it's going
Humidity
in
is
my mouth.
very low here today.
And can you see this all over my face? It's stuck to my face. Anyhow, and it's caused me to research and question things that I believe to be true. It's, what is going on? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm like a human. Like you know how you take the balloons and you rub them on your hair? That's what's
Yeah.
going on with my face right now. And hey, Puddin. And so I've changed the way I've thought or approached things because I'm no longer taking a person's word for it and I'm researching it myself. And God is revealing the truth to me of what is in his word. So I've been
It makes a lot more sense now.
it does. We're read like gibberish before, so I don't get it. But I think I changed my he changed me to be able to receive it. But yeah, I'm more willing to change lately. I mean, since we moved here than I ever was before.
Yeah.
We had to. We have to every day.
Yeah.
We got to adapt
Well,
if we want to grow and move forward.
yeah.
And we'll be making some more changes this coming year. This coming year, I have already dubbed the year of the water. So it should be really exciting coming up. Oh, did you agree to that? I didn't even ask you. I didn't even ask you.
Say it one more time.
The
so
year
I
of
can-
the water.
The year of the water.
Because every year we have a main focus, or we
Not,
try to.
Not the year of the flood, but
The year of the water. It could be a flood. God can open the floodgates. Let's go. Lord knows we've opened up the floodgates of the border. Did I say that? Yeah, the year of the water. Was each year, one year we had, the year of the building, then we have the year of livestock and da 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 da. And last year we focused on and we're still this year kind of on our health ish, taking care of a lot of broken parts and fixing them and making some changes. And this year needs to be the year of the water.
Okay.
What were you going to say?
Well, we've had the year of Gavin and Ashlyn.
Oh yeah, the year of Gavin and Ashlyn, them getting married and all that. And then for us, I want it to be the year of the water.
Year of the water.
Lots of changes coming for that.
Oh,
So drop a comment. And what are you guys struggling with not wanting to change that you know that you need to? Or what is a big change that you made? Whether it be you quit going out to eat, you quit processed foods, you added livestock, you got rid of livestock, you realized you couldn't handle your big homestead anymore, so you drastically reduced and moved into a smaller dwelling. What are some changes that you did, either towards a bit something bigger or something smaller, and share them with other people because change is uncomfortable.
yeah.
But if we want to grow, that's where we have to be is get out of our comfort zone and go into the uncomfort zone. But a lot of times change can be something good, even if we're not happy
Oh
with it.
yeah, yeah. Whether going big or going small, the changes.
There, you're gonna make a rhyme right now.
Well, I was.
You were gonna go ahead, going big or going
No,
small. Let's be cheesy. Come on. What were you gonna say?
I guess the change is the biggest thing of all.
We're gonna leave you with that. Going big or going small, the change is the biggest thing of all.
Yeah.
My poet. All right, y'all have a
All
blessed
right.
day.
Thanks for watching.